Today there is a lot of news from the south. Here, Ukrainians conducted a series of deadly strikes, combining the most advanced weapons in their arsenal. The target of the first strike became Tokmak. Tokmak is one of the biggest prefrontal towns, which is why it became one of the most important logistical hubs, where Russians stationed tens of thousands of soldiers, and numerous ammunition depots, warehouses with equipment, and command posts. Russian sources reported that during the day, Ukrainians conducted a HIMARS strike on Russian military bases located on the northwestern outskirts of the town, near the former poultry farm. The strike itself inflicted a lot of damage to the Russian camp. However, just when Russian forces thought that this was over and were dealing with the aftermath, Ukrainians conducted the second strike, using longer-range multiple-launch rocket systems. The second strike was even more devastating because it turned out that Ukrainians used cluster munitions. Ukrainians knew that Russians usually involved a lot of mobilized soldiers to clean up the site after the strike, meaning that this would be a perfect opportunity to double, if not triple, the damage. Moreover, cluster munitions are considered dangerous because after they get scattered, there is always a portion of grenades that do not explode immediately and make the whole area dangerous until it is entirely demined. Russian sources claimed that this was the first usage of Western cluster munitions. However, it is more likely that Ukrainians increased the use of those that they already had after the announcement that the US would provide new. The target of the second strike became Berdyansk. Berdyansk is also one of the biggest Russian logistical hubs because it has a huge harbor, lies between Melitopol and Mariupol, and has a lot of industrial zones that can be used for storing ammunition and equipment. Russian sources reported that Ukrainian forces launched multiple Storm Shadow missiles, targeting the industrial area. Russian sources also posted footage provided by Russian air defense operators and claimed that Russians managed to shoot down almost all missiles. Nonetheless, some missiles reached their predetermined destination and destroyed at least one military object on the territory of the harbor. But this was still not the biggest loss for Russians. Later, it turned out that Ukrainians also targeted and completely demolished Hotel Dune in the southeastern part of the town. This hotel served as the command post of the 58th Russian Army, which is why Ukrainians managed to eliminate the Russian deputy commander of the Southern Military District, General Lieutenant Oleg Sokov. Sokov was one of the most experienced generals in the Russian army. He fought in the First and Second Chechen Wars and in Syria and was even wounded near the front line in the Luhansk region last year. Sokov was considered an intelligent commander, and he had around 85,000 troops in subordination. Other sources mentioned that he was not alone in the headquarters, and the strike highly likely eliminated divisions and brigades commanders as well. A few days prior, the Russian army lost another high commander. Russian sources reported that the captain of the second rank, Stanislav Ruzitsky, was shot dead during his regular morning jog. Ukrainian intelligence reported that an unknown person reportedly waited for Ruzitsky near the stadium, shot him 7 times, and disappeared. Russian sources complained that Ukrainian secret services conducted the assassination. However, the head of the Ukrainian intelligence denied these claims. Ruzitsky was the commander of the submarine Krasnodar, which was launching Caliber cruise missiles at Ukrainian cities. Overall, Ukrainians developed a devastating tactic by combining HIMARS and cluster munition strikes on Russian military camps and also conducted a very effective series of Storm Shadow strikes, further decreasing the number of capable Russian commanders. Today, the president of France, Macron, approved deliveries of even more Storm Shadow missiles, so we will definitely see more such strikes in the near future.